All right, welcome. We're live here at the Blickery Activity Center on the, let's see here, the ND Sports Channel today. To take a look, we got the Breckenridge Cowgirls from the Minnesota side, who usually play on the Minnesota Sports Station, taking on the Wahpeton Huskies, who normally play on the ND Sports Channel. So since we're in North Dakota today, we decided to put it on the ND Sports Channel, even though Breckenridge is the home team, I believe. I forgot to ask if you're a regular viewer, you're used to having the home team on the left and the visiting team on the right. And if it is flip-flop, we'll make you aware of that, and it's not going to be a huge deal. But if you are used to that and it does cause an inconvenience, we certainly apologize for that. We're about 20 seconds away here from the buzzer as the two teams are on the sideline huddling up there. And let's see if we can make an adjustment on our camera here. And we're underway with the junior varsity game here on the ND Sports Channel between the Breckenridge Cowgirls and the Wahpeton Huskies. We'll have the boys junior varsity game next, and then after the boys JV game, we'll take a little bit of maybe a 10-15 minute break and then come back with the girls varsity and the boys varsity. So no score. Wahpeton will get the ball. Once the first basket is scored, we'll know for sure who the home team and whom the away team is. So want to thank the coaches for Wahpeton and Breckenridge for helping me out with some name pronunciations as well, and we'll do our best to keep track of the players. We don't do a lot of junior varsity games, so we're not familiar with the junior varsity players until they get up to varsity level, usually. Varsity games. Not that JV are hard to do, but Minnesota rules, so 2 halves and no shot clock. Inbounds pass from the baseline. That is Kylie Blado, number 42, and then taking the shot is, let's see here, they're the home team. So we're gonna be backwards on our screen here, but that's okay. So Breckenridge is the home team and Wahpeton's the away team, and we'll try and flip-flop that for the next game. It'll make it a little bit easier for us. So shot is up and in. That was Leah. Check that. I'm looking at the wrong roster here. Grace Nicholson got the last point there for Breckenridge. And now the Huskies are on the board. On the near wing here, let me, that's a little loud on the microphone in my opinion. There we go. Now we got that fixed. Inside the paint, shot is up and in. 6-2 in favor of the Cowgirls with 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Huskies will work it into the free throw line there. That is Annika Lindsney, and it went in. 6-4. Ball's tipped around, chased down right in front of the midcourt stripe. They'll work it over to the far wing. Foot was on the line, long two, won't go. And the whistle will stop the clock with 11:30 to go here in the first half. In case you haven't figured it out, Wahpeton Huskies in the white jerseys with the yellowish gold numbers, and Breckenridge in the green jerseys, of course, and we do our best to color coordinate that on our scoreboard as well for you, just in case you're unsure and I'm not talking about it. It's kind of there for you. And a foul underneath there is Sydney Pulskamp will go to the free throw line here for the Huskies. 5'6" sophomore. To try and tie this game up. 10:57 to go, and Huskies trailing by 2, and they'll stay that way for the moment. Substitutions for the Cowgirls. Once again, the boys junior varsity game is coming up after this one. And both will miss, so still be a 2-point advantage here for Breckenridge. Come down the near sideline here to the near wing, and it's stolen away, and it's a breakaway. There's nobody there, into the hoop, and cannot get the lay-in completed. And now the loose ball will be picked up by the Cowgirls. Lydia Model with the breakaway opportunity there for the Huskies, and 2 more as the Cowgirls double up on the Huskies now, and we'll see if the Huskies can get that last basket back. Into the hands of Pulskamp. Pulskamp drives into the paint, pops it out to the near wing. Now the baseline shot a little bit short. Hustled for her own rebound, but it came down into the hands of the Cowgirls. And that one will go out of bounds, and they'll stop the clock with exactly 10 minutes to go here in the first half of play. That one will be poked out of bounds. Remains 8-4 here with 9:44 to go in the first half. Three-pointer on the way, a little strong. Rebound comes down to the Huskies. Grabbing that rebound is Jasmine Hill. Right now it's in the hands of Model. Model spinning around the defenders there. Gives it up, or check that was Allard, and now Model has it. And now a couple of passes later, it gets back to Pulskamp. Shot is up. Breckenridge comes down with the rebound. They'll launch it up court. And a mid-post jumper, too strong off the glass. Rebound goes down to Pulskamp. The Breckenridge players with white numbers, I can see. The black ones, I'm having a hard time seeing those, but we'll do the best we can. I can tell you that Morgan Bruns, a sophomore, is out there on the far side of the lane wearing jersey number 22. It's the only one I can see at the moment. Yep, Madison Rabbit Head at number 32 out on the court. And you got Anna Erickson out there for the Cowgirls as well. And the free throws are in. She'll get 2, and that gets the Huskies 2 closer. Pressure in the backcourt now. And no problem this time for the Cowgirls. And a whistle will stop the clock with 8:53 to go. Two is partially blocked. Ball's tipped around. Loose ball is finally picked up by the Huskies. They'll outlet it to the far side of the court. And now coming down the court there was Model. Shot is up, won't go. And the ball's poked away and out of bounds it'll go, and it'll stay with the Huskies. 8:35 to go here in the first half, and it's a 2-point game in favor of the Cowgirls. Model hands it off there for, I believe it's Pulskamp. Back to Model. Nope, check that, wrong player. Sorry about that. Rebound underneath initially there by Allard. And now the Cowgirls will bring it back the other way. From the low block, it'll drop in. 10-6. Up top for Allard. Oh, he'll swing it into the far corner there. Back up into the hands of Pulskamp. Pulskamp dribbles down to the baseline, pops it up, floats it in. Put those points on the wrong side there by mistake. Three-pointer on the way. Won't go. Battle for the rebound. Baseline inbounds pass, calling the play. I remember doing that signal when I was playing high school basketball. I just don't know if it's the same play that we played or not. That one's going to be poked away. And the loose ball is picked up and the shot is up, a little bit short. Huskies get the rebound. That was Lisney with the rebound. This will stop the clock with 6:59 to go here in the first half of play. Once again, broadcast coverage of the junior varsity games brought to you by the Wahpeton All-Sport Booster Club as well as Wahpeton Husky families. We certainly appreciate the support. If you'd like to hop on, we would love to have you hop on. We'll get you a lot of exposure. We average about 100 to 150 views per game. And that totals into thousands of views per month, assuming that we do that many games for one particular team each month. But no matter how many games we do, that's our average. Is about, you know what? I know it's like 150 a game, but I haven't figured out the actual average for a month of broadcast. I can tell you it's a lot, though. And are tied at 10 on the 2 free throws. Bounce pass down low, turn around, floats it up and in. Grace Miranowski with the bucket for the Cowgirls to give the lead back to Breckenridge. Nice move there on the other end by Model to tie it up at 12 once again. 6:28 and counting to go. Cowgirls will stop, move it back up in between the circles, hand it off there. Off the back iron, won't go. And stripped away, that'll result in a foul. We actually have our team fouls mixed up. It is now 6 for the Cowgirls and 3 for the Huskies. So we'll take 2 off there. And we'll put a couple more over here. Once again, we'll try and get that flip-flop for the next game so that you're not confused and we're not confused. To the hoop, too strong. Rebound underneath. That shot underneath the backboard, and another rebound. That one looked like it was going to drop in, but it would trickle out, and the rebound goes down to the Huskies. They'll put it into the hands of Model, and she'll bring it over the timeline. The near wing here for that's McKenna Brewer, number 4. Now Lisney, shot up won't go, and the rebound comes down there to Miranowski. Wide open for three. On the way and in. 15-12. 5:05 to go here and first half. Breckenridge got off to a fast start. Wahpeton chipped their way back into it. And right now it's a pretty even game. Buckets on pretty much all the possessions so far, and that'll draw a foul. So 17 fouls, 1-on-1 bonus now for the remainder of the first half here. Free throw off the front of the rim, a little short. Ayanna Allard is at the free throw line. And that one will be a little bit off the mark. Pass inside, deflected, and it's going to be stolen away, and it's another breakaway opportunity here for the Huskies, and this time they'll get it to drop in. Jump ball, possession arrow, I believe favors Wahpeton, and it does. They might need to change the light bulb on that. You can barely see it from up here, but it's okay. And we have a timeout on the floor. It's 15-14 in favor of the Breckenridge Cowgirls. Timeout on the floor, we'll take one as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
All right, 4:10 to go here in the first half of play. Live from the Bleckenridge Activity Center on the campus of the North Dakota State College of Science from the Gary Rogers Press Box. Mike Mason with you here on the ND Sports Channel. Full day of basketball here. We have 4 broadcasts for you. This is the first of 4. Girls JV, followed by the boys JV, followed by the girls varsity, followed by the boys varsity to cap it all off tonight. And we are your one and only station broadcasting the junior varsity games. I don't know if anybody will be here for the varsity games, but we would love it if you were to stick with us. That'd be much appreciated. Clock stops with 3:50 to go now. Cowgirls with a 1-point lead here with 3:40 and counting to go. Trying to increase that lead off the front of the rim. Ball's tipped around and I thought it was out of bounds. But now about a 15-footer from the far side is up and in for the Cowgirls to increase their lead to 3, excuse me, 17-14. See what the Huskies can do to respond here. Up at the top, it's Allard. And that ball is off the fingertips and coming back the other way here for the Breckenridge Cowgirls. I believe that is Skyland, let's see here, number 10, Abby Johnson. Once again, a little difficult to see those black numbers on the jersey, but I'm not going to be too worried about it. Free throw, a little strong. That one's a little bit off the mark as well. 3 minutes to go here in the first half of play, and it's a 3-point lead for the Cowgirls. Off the baseline, can't quite get enough up there to get it up and over, and that will stop the clock now with 2:48 to go. Cowgirls will get it back with a 3-point lead and a chance to extend that 3-point lead. We'll slowly bring it up and now launch it over the timeline, right to the free throw line. The shot is up, too strong off the back iron, and now a whistle. The ball will go back to the Huskies. Annika Lisney with the basket attempt there. No, check that, wrong roster. I apologize. It's Morgan Bruns on the attempted shot there for Breckenridge. And now down at the other end, it'll be Jasmine Hill at the free throw line for the Huskies. First one's up and in. And the second one is as well. 17-16, Huskies back within one here. Wide open for the three. A little strong on that one. Bruns will get the rebound. They'll work it back inside, but now a loose ball in the paint's picked up by Pulskamp for the Huskies. Pulskamp nearly stepping out of bounds there, but Wahpeton will regain control, slow it down a little bit as they come over the timeline here with 2:05 and counting to go in the first half. They're trailing by one. They can take the lead on this possession here if they can find a high percentage shot here. That looks like a high percentage shot to me, but it's a little bit off the mark. And Bruns will get the rebound for the Cowgirls. And three-pointers up and in for the Cowgirls. Minute 27 to go. That basket's up and in. 22-16 now with just under a minute to go here in the first half. On the near side, it's Pulskamp. Now she dribbles it back up top. And the long two is on the way. Off the back iron, a little bit too strong. Breckenridge will get the rebound, bring it back here with about 33 seconds to go. With the basketball there is Abby Johnson. And Johnson will dribble up high on the far side, now in between the circles coming to the near side. With 22 seconds to go. And a whistle will stop the clock with 21 seconds. Seven seconds to go. Pulskamp with the basketball. Runs into a double team. The ball gets deflected into the backcourt, and they couldn't collect it before the halftime buzzer. And that'll bring us to halftime with your score, 22-16 in favor of the Cowgirls. We'll take a timeout and be back with the second half in a few minutes here on the ND Sports Channel. Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games on the Magnitude Sports Media Network are available on demand on our website within a couple hours, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature, which puts instant replay instantly into your hands. You can watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, rewatch a big play or score, and then at any time, return to live action simply by clicking live. Now you don't have to miss your son's game-winning goal, your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. Thanks for watching the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
The Magnitude Sports Media Network is all about bringing your team home when they're on the road and bringing your team to your friends, fans, and family who are on the road. Does your team have a huge road game coming up on the schedule that your fans aren't able to attend? Does your family live in a different part of the country? Consider sponsoring your team. We can show you who's watching the game, the age group, the actual number of viewers, so team up with us to bring your team back to your home television when they're on the road playing. Visit our website, msportsnet.com, or call us at 701-373-1843. Since October 17, 2017, the Magnitude Sports Media Network has brought you over 550 games and a grand total of 115,000 plus viewers and listeners who have watched or listened to one of the 105 varsity, JV, or sub-varsity teams that have played in one of the 8 different sports that we have broadcasted from 40 cities and towns, including hockey, baseball, softball, volleyball, basketball, soccer, and swimming, with hopes of doing more in the future. Consider a donation or a sponsorship that'll give you advertising dollars every bang for its buck that you can expect. Visit our website for more information, msportsnet.com, or call us at 701-373-1843. Thank you for being loyal viewers and supporters for the past 2 years.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Subscribe to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search for Magnitude Sports, click on subscribe, click on the bell, and select your alert preference of all, personalized, or none. By selecting all, you'll be notified to every live broadcast and video upload we make. Selecting personalized will notify you only to the games and videos most likely to interest you, and selecting none will help us out by becoming a subscriber but avoid unnecessary mobile and email notifications. Direct link is youtube.com/ndsportschannel/live. Thanks for subscribing to Magnitude Sports on YouTube.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Did you know that every single game on the Magnitude Sports Media Network can be watched live on your home television screen using the YouTube app? And it's easy, so very easy, with 3 very easy steps. First, log on to the YouTube app on your smart TV or another device like a PlayStation, Xbox, or 4K Blu-ray player. Then search or select Magnitude Sports Media Network, select the live feed, find your team's playlist, or browse the extensive game library and watch any of the previous games on demand 24/7 at your convenience. We'd appreciate it if you were subscribed to our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Magnitude Sports Media Network. Then tap on the bell and get email and mobile alerts every time we go on the air. On the ND Sports Channel, Minnesota Sports Station, SD Sports Vision, or Magnitude Sports Radio. Thanks so much for watching the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
All right, welcome back. It's 22-16 in favor of the Breckenridge Cowgirls, and we got the teams on the right side of the scoreboard now. So Breckenridge is indeed the home team with 22 points, and the Wahpeton Huskies is indeed the visiting team with 16 points. Once again, we're playing Minnesota rules. That's 2 halves with no shot clock, and that'll be the same for both junior varsity games and both varsity games coming up tonight. So once again, after this one here, the boys varsity game will have probably be about 3 o'clock start on that one, maybe a little bit sooner, as those 3 young ladies are the only ones out there on the court right now, so they get the spotlight at the moment. So, and then the girls varsity game is set to tip off, scheduled for about 5 o'clock. We'll see if that gets off a little bit early or maybe a little bit later, and we'll know more as these games move along here and see how long each game ends up being. And then the boys varsity for later tonight is set right now currently for a 7 p.m. start. And once again, we'll see if that one starts a little early or a little late. But we certainly enjoy coming down here. It's always every time I come to the Bleckenridge Activity Center, I am doing multiple games. I've never come here to do just a single game before. It's always been multiple games, and that's cool. The only downside of that, if there is such a thing as a downside, is if I have a roster with a bunch of names that are hard to pronounce, going up and down those stairs to get up to where we broadcast from can certainly take the breath out of you. And anybody who's broadcasted up here will certainly know that is true. A buddy Brad Anderson of mine, I know he's broadcasted a few games up here, more than a few. You might know him as well, as he does a lot of the play-by-play for the Wildcats when they play basketball and football. So, of course, they don't play football in this activity center, but the basketball team does, obviously. And then I know Raleigh Lipp has been up here before. He's a good buddy of mine. Joe Schreiner is a good buddy of mine. He's been up here. So if you don't believe me, ask Brad, Raleigh, or Joe, and they will tell you if I'm telling the truth or not. We're about 90 seconds away from the second half here of the girls' junior varsity game. Once again, the Breckenridge Cowgirls lead the Wahpeton Huskies 22-16. We'll take another timeout, and when we come back, it's the second half of action from the Bleckenridge Activity Center here on the ND Sports Channel. Subscribe to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search for Magnitude Sports, click on subscribe, click on the bell, and select your alert preference of all, personalized, or none. By selecting all, you'll be notified to every live broadcast and video upload we make. Selecting personalized will notify you only to the games and videos most likely to interest you, and selecting none will help us out by becoming a subscriber but avoid unnecessary mobile and email notifications. Direct link is youtube.com/ndsportschannel/live. Thanks for subscribing to Magnitude Sports on YouTube.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
All right, welcome back. We're set. We're ready for the second half of action here. And 14-minute halves in junior varsity. You'll hear the buzzer here in about 10-12 seconds. And if we can get our camera centered up here, as the players are now on the court, the Cowgirls are on the court. Still looking for the Huskies. There they are. Now they're coming out on the floor. Huskies will have the ball to start the second half of play, and they'll be in the white jerseys going from left to right here in the second half. And the Cowgirls in the green jerseys going from right to left. So once again, 22-16. We've had a handful of ties. And I think on a couple occasions the Huskies led. I don't keep track of that in the JV game, but if memory serves me correctly, I believe that was the case. But right now, what matters is the Cowgirls lead, and what matters is if Wahpeton wants to win this game, they have to overcome that deficit. Thanks for stating the obvious there, Captain Obvious. But 13:33 to go now here in the second half of play. So the Wahpeton Huskies will get the ball back. I'm telling you, it's much easier now. Like, now that I got the teams on the right side of the scoreboard, it's just a mental thing. It throws you off, and now I feel like I'm in the zone again. So as they try to get the ball to Pulse Camp there, and it'd be off her fingertips, out of bounds, and back to the Cowgirls. So ball's poked away, and as a result, there'll be a reach-in foul on the Huskies here. Inbounds pass from the far sideline. Comes right in front of the midcourt stripe. And I believe that is Anna Erickson, who just passed the ball. Now a couple passes later into the corner. Tried to feed it back inside, and then it was intercepted, and a whistle quickly after. I didn't see what the whistle was for. Looks like it's a foul on Breckenridge. Foul goes on number 22 for Breckenridge. That is, let's see, there's two number 22s on the roster. So it's either Morgan Bruns or Addison Twidwell. Pulse Camp will go down to the baseline, stop, turn around, spin, get it into her teammate. Now they pop it out far wing for a three, a little strong. Cowgirls will get the rebound. Come back down to the other end of the court. They'll work it over to the far wing. Now back up in between the circles towards the top of the key with 12:25 and counting to go. Nice movement into the lane there, and as a result, she'll draw the foul. So I'll stop the clock with 12:06 to play here in the second half. Baseline inbounds pass for the Cowgirls. Come into the far wing, a catch and shoot three on the way and in. She got it, 25-16, and a 9-point lead for Breckenridge. Pulse Camp tried to drive in, a couple defenders in her way, pops it back out near wing, is into the hands of McKenna Kubla. No, check that, Coolmoogs. Free throws up and in. 25-17 now. A little over 11 and a half to go. And points with the clock stop are a big thing right now, especially if you're a Wahpeton Huskies fan, because that'll get them a little bit closer and give it an opportunity. And as soon as we start our clock, the clock will stop again, this time with 11:31 to go in the second half. And another foul here on the Huskies. So it's three team fouls for the Huskies and two for the Cowgirls. Inbounds pass comes into, I believe that's Kelsey Sorrell. Either that or it's, no, let's see here, look at the height, 5'6" and 5'9". Okay, we'll see how tall she is and we'll figure out who it is. It's one way to figure it out. 11:10 to go, second half of play. And some contact, no whistle. And the ball will get back to the Cowgirls. And now they'll bring it up to and over the timeline here with 10:57 and counting to go. Near side, number 34 is Sophie Larson for the Cowgirls. Now they'll work it up top, high post. Thought about the shot, didn't take it. Opposite high post. Now they'll drive down to the baseline. A little short and a whistle and a foul. I believe that's on Breckenridge because the Wahpeton player was inside the circle underneath the hoop there. So that is automatically an offensive foul when that kind of collision occurs underneath there, regardless of if the feet of the defender were moving or not. That one's up and in, and that gets the Huskies 2 closer. It's a 5-point game now. At one point, the Cowgirls had a 9-point lead. Since then, the Huskies have gone on a 4-0 run. Looking to end that off the front of the rim and a chance to trim the lead again. Here's the Huskies will get the rebound. Moving over the timeline there is Signe Kubala. Bounce pass to Paulskamp, and she works it inside, and then Paulskamp gets it back. Far side with the pink shoes is Kubala. And Kubala will work it up top there for Kuomu. Kubala will get it back. Now Kuomu, that's, trying to say that 3 times fast. Going into the paint, draws the foul here, and that will even up the team. Fouls at 3 apiece for the Cowgirls and Huskies. And once again, I mentioned it a moment ago, points with the clock stop big for the Huskies right now. And they're within this game. This deficit is manageable. They could make things interesting here in the next couple of baskets, especially if they can connect on the free throws. And that one had to make a few Wahpeton fans nervous. Wasn't sure if that was going in. That almost looked like the free throw we saw yesterday in that Fargo South game against Fargo Davies when Addie Wagner scored her 1,000th point. It took forever for that free throw to go in. That one in and out of bounds. We don't even have to start or stop our clock. That's a good thing. I love it when that happens. So a 4-point game, a 2-possession game, or a 1 possession if you get fouled on a 3-pointer. And there's Paulskamp to the free throw line, pops it out wide open for 3 on the way, too strong. Rebound there to the Cowgirls, and they'll bring it back the other way. I'm gonna guess that is Erin Blaufus, if I'm saying that correctly, 5'9". She looks like she might be 5'9". She doesn't look like she's 5'6", but if I'm wrong, I apologize on that. 2 more for the Cowgirls. And that will stop the clock with 8:45 to go. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. We're back in a moment here on the ND Sports Channel.
High school sports programs provide valuable lessons for practical life solutions, teamwork, sportsmanship, and hard work. Students learn self-respect through responsibility of their actions through high school activities. There are kids out there, coaches and parents, who appreciate sports officials for doing a tough job with class. More officials are needed. Someone like you. Contact your local high school or the North Dakota High School Activities Association to find out how to become an official. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
All right, coming out of the timeout on the floor is 8:44 to go, and the Cowgirls lead by 6. They also have 4 team fouls and not 3. Now everything is accurate on your scoreboard, and the inbounds pass will come from the far baseline there, into the backcourt, into the hands there of Model. Model had a few buckets in the first half, and now she's back into the game here for the Huskies. That's Paulskamp. Paulskamp has the ball poked away, but she'll retrieve it. Put it into the hands of Coolmoo. Ball's poked away, and with the purple shoes there is Emma Bonchis. Inbounds pass comes up top. Work it to the near wing to Paulskamp. Paulskamp dribbles into the paint. Makes a move, the shot is blocked. She'll get right back into her hands, and she's still trying to power her way into a position to get a shot off. And this time she'll pass it off, and that'll be a charge and a foul on the Huskies. So both teams have 4 team fouls now. .45 to go here in the second half of play. Cowgirls work it into the near side of the lane, now back out. Dribbling into the paint, right to the basket, too strong. Ball's tipped around and out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock with 7:33 to go. And now we'll have some substitutions for the Huskies. They were just off camera, and when I went to look at the floor, I wasn't able to catch who came in. So I believe that's Kubala, if I remember right, because she has the pink shoes. And it was, and she's into the game now, and she'll get the basketball. Work it into the near wing, and is that a travel or no? It's a foul. Coolmoo will get it to Bonchis. Bonchis with the purple shoes and Coolmoo with the pink shoes. That's how I'm remembering that right now. And that one whistle will stop the clock with 7:05 to go. And actually, there's I forgot to record that last bucket there for Wahpeton. It's 27-23 is their score. Seven minutes to go here in this one. Still 4-point game. We'll say 7 minutes to go in regulation just to be on the safe side. 3, and it's on the way, and it bounces in and out. Offensive rebound, and through the hands, and that will be, that's tipped. They can go back and get it. And now a foul will come. Team foul number 6 on the Cowgirls. And that will send the Huskies to the free throw line. I've said it twice. I'll say it 3 times as a charm, right? Points with the clock stopped. Big. McKenna Coolmoo at the free throw line here for the Huskies. And right now the official's talking to the scorers table. I'm not sure if there's like an issue with the clock maybe or what the discussion is. Okay, they've figured that one out. And now back to the free throws. Once again, McKenna Coolmoo. That one will not drop in. And now we have substitutions for Breckenridge. That one's too strong as well, and the rebound comes down to the Cowgirls. Just under 6.5 to go now as the Cowgirls will rush it down the court, down to the mid post, pop it back out to the top of the key. That is into the hands of Anna Eriksson. Eriksson will get a screen, and not much will come from that screen except for a foul. as the 7th team foul on the Cowgirls. So 1-on-1 bonus here for the Huskies for the remaining 6:12 and counting of this half. Kubala, and now Bonchis goes to the hoop, and that rolls off the rim. An unlucky roll there for the Huskies, and now Cowgirls have a chance to increase that 4-point lead. Work it up top, that's Anna Erickson, directing traffic, calling the play. Work it over to the far wing. Looking inside, back up top for Erickson. Erickson looks to the left, fires it back over to the far wing. And now another travel. Thought it was going to be a moving screen, but it turned out to be a moving player without dribbling the ball. So another chance here for the Huskies to pull a little bit closer. Trim that 4-point deficit down to a 2 or a 1-point deficit. Loose ball into the corner, and she lost it out of bounds. Nice effort to try and keep it there, but just a little too much momentum on that ball moving around, and causes it to go out of bounds. And we have more substitutions here for Wahpeton. Up top, that's Paige Kelson, number 24. They'll work it down low there for that, but that one counted. That was Sophie Larson. No, it did not count, excuse me. It did not. To the hoop. And that shot was partially blocked. They'll try again and try and float it up there, but unable to do so. Ball will go out of bounds, and I believe it stays with the Huskies. 4:52 to go here in the second half. Bonchis will trigger the inbounds pass from the baseline. Into the far wing. And Wahpeton will get 2 shots with 4:45 to go here in the second half. Going to the free throw line is McKenna Kuomu. We've been stuck at 27-23 for a little bit now. We'll see if Kuomu can change that. Officials having another discussion here, and now they'll go to the scorer's table and discuss some more. The official with the basketball is the one we're keeping our eyes on here. I don't know if they're what the discussion is. Maybe there's a issue with the basketball itself. That's kind of the impression I'm getting there. They wanted to make sure that there's enough air in that basketball, maybe. I don't know. So once again, Kuomu at the free throw line. Matter of fact, last time she was at the free throw line, we had a delay in action as well. This time she makes the free throws. Last time she didn't. So now it's a 1-possession game, 27-24 with the free throw there. 4:45 to go in the second half. And it's in. Two-point game. And barely kept it in bounds on that far sideline there. It was like they absolutely had no more room. And now it'll be stolen away there by Kubala. Bringing it over the timeline there is Kuomu. Back to Kubala. And now on the far side, I believe that's on Maya Max. And now inside, and McKenna Kuomu will get fouled again and probably go to the free throw line with 8 fouls. It's going to be a 1-and-1 bonus. Oh, nope, they're going to, the foul, they did tack a foul onto the scoreboard in the gym here, but they're giving the ball to the Cowgirls. So 8-4 is the correct count on fouls. With the basketball there is Kelsey Sorol, I think. They've got 2 44s on the roster, so I'm not sure which one it is. I know Kelsey plays varsity ball too, so now we have a timeout on the floor. 3:53 to go. It's 27-25. This is a good one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment here on the ND Sports Channel. Subscribe to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search for Magnitude Sports, click on subscribe, click on the bell, and select your alert preference of all, personalized, or none. By selecting all, you'll be notified to every live broadcast and video upload we make. Selecting personalized will notify you only to the games and videos most likely to interest you, and selecting none will help us out by becoming a subscriber but avoid unnecessary mobile and email notifications. Direct link is youtube.com/ndsportschannel/live. Thanks for subscribing to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. All right. Well, we have a good one here in our first of 4 broadcast of the day. 3:53 to go officially, and it is a 2-point game. Cowgirls lead by 2. And Cowgirls will have the ball coming out of the timeout. They'll inbound it there into the backcourt, into the hands of Anna Erickson. They'll bring it back over the timeline. Erickson will dribble down into the near wing. Now pick up her dribble, trying to push off her defender. Feeds it in, and it's a loose ball on the floor, and that will be a jump ball, and the possession area will favor Breckenridge. Check that. It'll favor Wahpeton, and we have another timeout on the floor. All right, well, we'll take another timeout as well. We'll be back in a moment here on the ND Sports Channel.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
All right, welcome back. 27-25. Cowgirls lead with 3:40 to go. They've added 1 second to the clock, and that's okay. So Kubala, and 2 passes later into the hands of Bonchis. Works it inside for the tie. McKenna Coolmoo ties it up at 27. And out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Huskies, and the Huskies will have a chance to take the lead here, and we have another timeout on the floor. We're going to presume this is a 60. Back in a moment.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter.
All right, we'll come back here out of that break a little bit early. It's more like a 45-second timeout. Once again, it was McKenna Coolmoo who scored the last basket for the Huskies to tie it up at 27. At one point, they trailed by 9 earlier in the second half. Coolmoo, excuse me. Thank you very much. And a foul down below there. 2:41 to go here in the second half. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. McKenna Coolmo, 5'7" freshman for the Huskies. So an inline, baseline inbounds pass here for the Cowgirls. Come into the near corner. Far wing. Hesitates, works it up back up top. I think that's Erickson. Ponytail, yep, that is Erickson. It's always fun when those ponytails cover up those jersey numbers and you're still trying to get familiar with all of them. And that will be a charge. She tossed the elbow right into the stomach there of Bonchis, the freshman for the Huskies, and that is team foul number 9 as a result here for the Cowgirls. .212 to go. Up top, it's Pulskamp. And Pulskamp will get it back. She'll work it near side into the hands there of Kubala. And that shot is up, won't go. Rebound comes down there to the Cowgirls. Just under 2 minutes to go here, and we're tied. We're ready for overtime. If these two teams want to provide it for us, I would certainly not complain. I have a little bit of an extended break between the boys JV and the girls varsity game, so we should still be on schedule. And that was a nice shot there to give the Cowgirls the lead. 29-27, 90 seconds to go. Huskies directing traffic high on the far side, and now they'll work it into the far corner. Back up top to the high post, and that whistle will stop the clock with 1:19 to go. And it's a foul on Breckenridge. So the the Huskies, excuse me, with a double bonus now at 10 fouls, will shoot 2. And at the free throw line is Sydney Pulskamp, a sophomore. She makes the first one. Second one for the tie. No, it'll roll off. Cowgirls will get the rebound. And now this possession here is big. If they can get a 2-point basket, it'll make it even a little bit more difficult for the Huskies to tie it up. Loose ball and a jump ball, and that possession arrow favors the Huskies. So now it's a big possession for the Huskies as they can take a 1-point lead. 1:05 to go. It's the final 60 of this one, of regulation at least. Coolmo works it inside, and that one's up and in, and the Huskies take the lead. And a timeout, or a whistle, I don't know if it was a whistle. 49.1 seconds remaining here, and we have a foul on the Huskies. Foul goes on Signe Kubala. All right, so now the Huskies have a 1-point lead. And we'll see if the Cowgirls can respond. They'll get the screen. That's Erickson. Pops it out, far wing, now up top. Looked at the basket, and now wide open for 3. That's going to be off the mark. You could tell when it left her hand. But an offensive rebound underneath. Cowgirls work it down low. 28 seconds to go, and the ball goes out of bounds back to the Huskies. Some full court pressure here by the Cowgirls, and first a timeout. Don't blame them. Want to talk this one over. We'll take our final timeout. Be back in a moment here on the ND Sports Channel. Subscribe to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search for Magnitude Sports, click on subscribe, click on the bell, and select your alert preference of all, personalized, or none. By selecting all, you'll be notified to every live broadcast and video upload we make. Selecting personalized will notify you only to the games and videos most likely to interest you, and selecting none will help us out by becoming a subscriber but avoid unnecessary mobile and email notifications. Direct link is youtube.com/NDSportsChannel/live. Thanks for subscribing to Magnitude Sports on YouTube. All right, welcome back. 28 seconds to go, and the Huskies are holding on to a 30-29 lead. Team fouls 10-6. It's actually 28.5 seconds if you want to be exact, but our clock doesn't keep track of the points, the tenths and hundredths of a second. We just got full seconds on there, so our clock's off by a half a second, you could say. Well, we've had about, I don't keep track of lead changes in the JV games. I probably should, because I've called enough JV games that have come down to the wire that I should probably start doing that. But in the last 4 to 5 minutes, we've had probably 4 or 5 lead changes and a couple of ties. And the momentum is certainly on the Husky side at the moment. And a quick foul, and now we'll march down to the other end to shoot 2. We stop keeping track at 10. Our scoreboard sometimes continues to go up. Once again, double bonus, so with a 1-point lead, the Huskies can, if they can make it 2, it'll be a tougher one-possession game. And that's good news if you're a Cowgirls fan. 26.9 seconds to go. That one's in. That's a 2-point game. 31-29. Here come the Cowgirls with a chance to tie. They're down to 20 seconds. To the baseline. Shot is up. Partially blocked and into the hands of Pulskamp. And a foul to stop the clock with 14.3 seconds to go. And we'll march down to the other end for 2 more shots. Pulskamp at the line. Misses the first one. And like I said, if you're a Cowgirls fan, that's good news, because even if she makes this one, it's still a 3-point game and you could tie it up if you get the ball in the hands of one of your 3-point shooters. And that one will go in. 13 seconds to go in this one, and a whistle will stop the clock with 11.3 seconds to go. And we have a timeout on the floor. Well, we'll take one more timeout as well. Come back with the conclusion of this one in just a moment.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports. And it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
All right, 11.3 seconds. And the Wahpeton Huskies have a 3-point lead right now over the Breckenridge Cowgirls, 32-29 in the girls' junior varsity game. If this one comes to the conclusion in 11 seconds, we'll have the boys' varsity game or junior varsity game in about 10 to 15 minutes. Unless Breckenridge can pop in a 3, then we'll see some bonus basketball here in our first of 4 games from the Bleckenridge Activity Center down here in Wahpeton. It'll be Cowgirl basketball, and they're down by 3. Inbounds pass comes into the backcourt, and the clock starts. 5 seconds. Shot is up. Won't go. Rebound. And that's a 2-point basket and a timeout. So 32-31 with 2.3 seconds to go. So basically, we're going to keep it here. So I'm pretty sure the topic of conversation, the Cowgirls huddle here, is foul immediately. And then the Huskies will go to the line, and they will hope to miss both and then maybe get a last chance shot here with 2.3 seconds. It's going to be very difficult, considering that we'll be down at the opposite end of the court. And if they do get it in, it's probably going to be at least a half-court attempt to try and win it. 32-31. But stranger things have happened, too. I was here for a boys basketball game, North Dakota Class B game, about 2 years ago. And it was Milner North Sargent. I think they're playing Wyoming Lidgerwood, if I remember correctly. And the Bulldogs were able to go the length of the court in about 2.4 seconds and lay it in at the buzzer for the win. And we have 2.3 seconds here, so we'll see what happens. Once again, it's going to be a foul, and it's going to have to be a quick foul. And 1.2 to go with the foul occurs. So we'll march down to the other end here. The Huskies will get a couple free throws, and so once again, 1.2 seconds to go. First free throw's up and in. 33-31, it's a 2-point game, so a 3 would win it at the moment. Unless Pulse Camp can bury this one, then the best they can do is tie, and that will be the case. We'll see what kind of plan they have here. 1 second to go, and at the buzzer, and it's a little short. Tough break there for the Cowgirls as they had a lead for a majority of that game. And towards the end of that first half here, the Huskies will battle their way back into it, take the lead on a basket by McKenna Coolmo, and since that basket, they were able to hang on and win this one. 34-31, your final in game 1 of 4. We'll be off the air for a few minutes and come back here in a little bit with the boys junior varsity game right here on the ND Sports Channel. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, we'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Same link you're watching on now will be the link for the boys junior varsity game. That one, the clock is set at 20 minutes. We'll be back in about 10 with that in mind. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the boys junior varsity game.